The glorious 12th. Every year on the 12th of August, grouse shooting season starts on the uplands of Britain. And as game shooting goes, this sport is considered one of the best in the world.
Obviously, grouse shooting is considered the ultimate sporting activity for bird shooters, and so it does attract the very best and the very best players.
And so it should be, with punters prepared to pay anything up to $10,000 for a day on this historic moorland.
Grouse shooting has gone on here since sort of the mid-1800s. My family came to the Massam area, to Swinton, in the 1880s when they bought Swinton Estate, which is a 20,000 acre estate, of which 9,000 acres is grouse moor.
The economic benefits for the lord of the manor charging for visiting sportsmen to shoot on his land are easily understood. But this sport has increasing importance generally for rural communities in the UK. With farming on the decline, any boost to rural revenue is gratefully received.
It supports the locality as well as the estate itself. Hotels supported, as are bed and breakfasts and smaller places for loaders that will be needing to stay when they come with their sporting clients. And it also filters down to the beaters who will be there on a day, who will be typically a team of beaters might easily cost an owner £1,000 a day to put on. And then there's the support activity of restaurants and other catering facilities, as well as the game processing industry.
A shooting party is charged per pair or brace of birds they bag, and at $60 a brace, a good shot can easily spend quite impressive sums in a day.
If you have good days here, we could get up to possibly 300 brace, so there's quite a lot of fluctuation there, so it could be anything from £15,000, people could be paying £50,000 sometimes for a very, very good day.
That's nearly $80,000 a day. There's no such thing as a typical shooting party. Anyone from adventurous Americans to London businessmen, even royalty from Europe and the Middle East come here. But such high-level guests demand high-quality shooting, which means plenty of expense for the estate.
In terms of actual amounts, a gamekeeper, his house and his vehicle might easily cost an owner £30,000 a year. If an area of moorland needs more than one keeper, maybe 2 or 3, and the bigger moors tend to have 3 or more keepers, it becomes quite a big commitment.
On a shooting day like this, apart from the 3 keepers, additional expenditures include 30 beaters and picker-ups, their trained dogs and 10 loaders. This could easily cost $4,000 a day.
So, all in all, the costs can get quite substantial, into many hundreds of thousands of pounds. And so the income that grouse shooting provides is essential to keep that habitat going.
However, despite its popularity, any blood sport will have its critics. After all, public opinion caused fox hunting with hounds to be banned in the UK a few years ago. Opponents of the sport would rather people shot alternative targets.
Clay shooting is a real option, and we would encourage that. You don't have to gather in the countryside with your mates and spill blood. There are other ways of enjoying the countryside. And I would say, yes, inanimate targets is a good way is a good alternative.
Supporters argue shooting is an integral part of the British landscape, and in fact created the landscape itself.
Grouse moors, the moorland which people love, which they have access to, which they walk across the north of England, that is created for one thing and one thing only, which is grouse shooting. It simply wouldn't exist without it.
That's because, unlike other game birds like pheasant that are frequently bred in captivity, the red grouse is completely wild. If you want to shoot grouse, you must maintain its habitat.
Red grouse is a purely wild bird, unlike pheasants and partridge. So what we're shooting today is purely what nature has provided us. So as a result, we always look at what we feel is a harvestable surplus, and we'll only shoot that in a year.
Nevertheless, the managers of the moor are fully aware that given the wild nature of the bird, its availability each year cannot be predicted.
A bad year for us could mean that if there is a disease problem in the grouse, or if there is a very bad spring and the grouse chicks die because they get cold and wet, that could be devastating for us. I mean, the extremes would be that you might not be able to shoot for 2 or even 3 years.
As a result, they try and keep a steady flow of revenue with a two-tier system, which allows syndicates to shoot when the high-end clients are not available. These syndicates keep the money coming in, even if they themselves sometimes lose out on the shooting.
By having a mixture of let teams that will come and take the premium days in August, and then also a syndicate who will maybe commit to shooting year on year, and even if there isn't any shooting, they'll still commit some money to it.
So it's a mixture of sort of locals, people I know. They will pay a set sum every year, irrespective of whether we shoot or not.
But on this shoot, they bagged around 200 birds, most of which made it to their table that evening.
So we're selling, I would say, 50% through the restaurant. The rest of it goes through Yorkshire Game. We'll go off to different restaurants around country.
In fact, demand is so great, you can struggle to find grouse on the menu in the consumer market.
There we have it. If you were at home wanting grouse, you go on the internet trying to search grouse, it's £10 a bird. So it's an expensive luxury item.
An expensive but enjoyable luxury item for the paying guns, but for locals, a crucial revenue stream. So even if some of the syndicates have to take the odd year off, they are happy to do so, knowing that that might just guarantee the grouse for the years to come.